I would like to request DGP Assam, Shri Harmeet Singh sir, to please come up on stage and deliver his keynote address.
First, the young ones. I'm happy to see some children here. Though I must say that the responsibility for what we are talking about today falls more on teachers, parents, even grandparents. But I will not be very formal and I will not address all dignitaries in the room, but say good morning and welcome to something that's important. I normally don't talk very formally, so it's a new experience for me also. I prefer to engage the audience. So along the way, we'll talk, and I hope that you will respond. I want to start with the few words, or rather the first 5 lines of a song that I heard when I was in school. And I don't know if many of the young people have heard, but there was an artist called Whitney Houston, and she sang a song called Greatest Love of All. That love was actually about love for children. So, Salik, can I have those lines, please? I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Now, I want you to ponder on these lines because this is what we are going to talk about. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride and make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us of how we used to be. So we will talk about future versus today and what we face. But before I go forward, Salik, can we remove this? Thanks. We go forward. I just want to lay down the basis of how and why we are here today and where it all started and how it started. My colleague Olendita and Salik in their introduction and presentation have talked a little bit about what we've been doing and how we've been doing it. But I just want to put it into perspective. First of all, I want to bring on record the vision, the leadership, the encouragement, and the space that the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Hemanta Biswa Sarma, has given to the entire child rights movement. Not only the child rights movement, but today Assam is in the forefront of global conversations on progressive initiatives. It's a very different Assam to which I first came in December 1994. So, ladies and gentlemen, after putting that on record, we know what has happened vis-a-vis child marriage. We know statistically how crimes against women and children have taken a plummet. They've actually gone down hugely in our state, and convictions have taken an upward swing. And a lot of that is thanks to the leadership and space. No police force can work without the support and space provided by a government. Let me just talk about Shishu Mitra. मैं कहानी सुना सकता हूँ ना? Allowed है ना? तो एक कहानी सुनाता हूँ. मेरी कहानियाँ लोगों को embarrass भी करती हैं. অকমান মানে embarrassment হবো আৰু. Miguel ক'ত আছা তুমি? এ লুকাই আছে পিছফালে. Miguel is a well-known name in child rights activism. মই 2017 ahi Assam palu. I came here in 2017, and there came this young man to my office. He had gone to the DGP to complain about the police, and the then DGP thought कि ये नया आया है दिल्ली से 20 साल के बाद असम में, इसके पास भेज दो. So here he came to my office sort of angry. Police say itu karana hai, police say itu karana hai. Policemen behave like this, policemen behave like that. So I just sat him down. Did I give you a cold drink or a cup of coffee? Coca-Cola. I gave him a Coca-Cola. I said, Thanda ho ja bhai. And then I spoke, and I think I did that with somebody here in the hall today also. I said, look, activism is not about us and them. Activism is not about fighting with each other. Activism is about working together to ensure that society reaches where it is supposed to be. And that is where started this whole idea. And I told him, I said, collaborate. We need to make changes, but then so does everybody else. And finally, where does the entire onus lie? On society as a whole. We are a part of society, you are a part of society, parents, teachers, children, everybody is a part of society. So for harmony in society, if we keep playing the blame game, we are not getting anywhere. So then a few days later, we have Madhulika here. Madhulika's predecessor, Dr. Tushar Rane, I believe, who's now somewhere in Africa. He was the UNICEF chief of station here. And chief of station normally CIA के बारे में बोला जाता है, but he was the head of the UNICEF here. And Miguel came to me with an idea कि, according to the law, एक jacket होनी चाहिए, which policemen will wear over their uniform because they are not supposed to wear a uniform when they meet children. My answer was, एक program करोगे? सबे আহিবো, CM सारे আহিবো, तुम्हार यूनिसेफ और हेड আহিবো, एटा जैकेट खोलिबो, हा 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 हा, सब ताली बजाबो, ताजमहल होटेल और चा खामो गुची जाम. মই এটো না করো. কিবা পার্মানেন্ট করিবলে যদি মন আছে, তেতিয়া মোর লগা কথা পাত. Let us talk if you are ready to do something permanent. And from there is where grew the Shishu Mitra program. The real impetus came following 2021, when we got the resources and we could put up the Shishu Mitra Center, where the policemen across the state are guided from the filing of the FIR till conviction. So that is what we are trying to do. Married into this or merged into this or a symbiotic relationship appeared with our social media center, the smart social media center, which is called Nagrik Mitra. As you know, our police stations are being upgraded under the scheme Moitri. So taking from Moitri, the Shishu Mitra and the Nagrik Mitra. So we came into the social media part and thus the entire campaign. So Salik has spoken of sharenting. So let me, सच्ची में बताओ, आज से पहले sharenting सुना था, अपनी बिला के हुनीसले, जदी हुनीसले तो हाथ डांगी दियो, जदी हुना नाई तो मो बुझी पाम. पुलिसर मानू तो सबे होनी से मो हुनाय हुनाय पगला हो गई सु. So this is, take this as a mirror. हमार आईनार डायरेक्टर याद आसे इटू आईना होबो लगे सोसाइटी आईना. Look at what's happening in the world and look at what's happening here. Salik, can we have those slides, please? We ran, by the way, this is not a child, this is an AI generated image. We don't use real children in any of our campaigns. This is an AI generated image. Next one, please. Next one, please. Next one, please. I'm not reading it out, I'm leaving it to you to read. Next one, please. Okay, so before she starts talking, she is one of the topmost social media influencers in the world on parenting. The world has caught on to our campaign, but our own people are still slightly unaware. So out of that comes today's program. Can we have this, please? Voice. Salik? You have to have the audio. This is called technical glitch.
Have to see this campaign that the Assam police in India released. They shared it the other day on their socials, and the taglines and the imagery is phenomenal. It says, like spade, but the digital scars remain. Shield your child from the perils of sharenting. Be mindful of what you share about your child on social media. # don't be a sharent. Here are the images, your children's story, their choice to tell. Don't trade their privacy for social media attention. Snapshots of innocence stolen by the internet. And children are not social media trophies. They did such a good job with it, and you may be thinking, Sarah, why are you sharing images of children? You never do that. Well, all these images are AI generated. Great to see so many organizations worldwide discuss this issue because it is going to have a massive impact on future generations. And truly, hashtag, don't be Sharon.
Next, please. So, this is a media research organization from the US. It's worldwide, it's very well known. And they said that in their research they found that abroad it had a 52.6% reach. And you can read it for yourself. So, next please. It got picked up in Korean. Next please. It got picked up in Polish. Next please. Petapixel is one of the topmost websites again for the digital world. They picked it up. Next please. Thai. Next please. Mexico. I think that's it. Oh, and we have, of course, I'm not saying it didn't get picked up in India. So Sudhir Chaudhary also ran a 10-minute program on it. So it's got picked up. People are talking about it. So I would request, today when you go home, Google sharenting. There are articles out there. We can't say everything here from the stage. Go read about it, and that would help. Can we remove this? Yeah, thank you. So now let me actually talk about what I've come to talk about. That's the digital reality for children. Do you remember your pre-COVID days? Children were actually wanting to go out and you were saying, hey, gharat boha, padhai koribo lage, exam ahibo. And then came COVID. And life went online. And when life went online, family gathering kene koy. E amar gute jitu relative ase, gutai meli eta Zoom kori lo aru. Huh? So all relatives would meet on Zoom. Children's schools went online. Everybody went online. You came out of there because COVID finished, you started going back to office, you started doing marketing, you started socializing, you started going for movies. But the children stayed in the internet. And the problem is that you don't know that internet. This is for parents and teachers. So, amar ki hoy? Jitu dunia ami bujhi na pao, ami itu dunia reject kori diu. You cannot keep your children away from the digital world. That is the new world. That is where conversations happen. That is where learning happens. One of the schools was talking to me today that they are coming out with a digital policy. So I said, what is your digital policy going to be? Do not use the digital world. It's not possible. I actually had a fight with the principal of one of Guwahati's top schools about 3 years ago. What fight? Well, the police wala dant diya. I got angry with her. She said, we have a policy for our children not to join any Facebook or any digital this thing. I said, "Aap kahan se ho?" She said, "I'm from Bombay." So I said, "जब आप बच्चे थे तो घर के बाहर नहीं जाते थे?" So she said, "Of course I used to go out of the house." So in fact, I used to climb trees and my parents used to say, "Don't climb a tree." So I said then, if you enjoyed climbing a tree, today also I want children to climb trees, but I also have to have them out there because they are learning there. They are interacting there. The whole world is out there. So what kind of schooling are you giving if you are telling your children that you cannot be on the digital world? So children tell me, can you be away from the digital world? Any child here who thinks ke internet na hole more kaam soli jabo hat dangi diya? No are. So when I was talking to these people from Sanskriti about their digital policy, I said your digital policy has to be not how not to go on the net, but how to use the net. So everybody talks about children's rights. But as we saw from the sharenting campaign, it's parents and teachers who actually don't support children's rights on the internet or otherwise. Why? Can anyone actually say to me, "Amar eta Indian mindset ase about parenting. Kunba etu kobo naki." Does anyone have the courage to say it, or should I say it? मेरे मम्मी पापा मुझसे ऐसे कराते थे, तुम क्यों नहीं करोगे? Do you say this or not? Teachers, parents, when we went to school, this is what happened. Yes or no? Just say yes if it's true. I want to hear that yes. So today, when I talk to people who went to my school or my college in the 60s, the 70s, I'm from the 80s, even the 50s, we have the same things to talk about. 90s also we have the same things to talk about. Cross 2005, they talk a different language. It's a different world. We have to accept that world. We have to join that world. You cannot deny that world. Because that is the new world. And knowing how to protect your children in that world, you have to join that world. Unless and until you join that world, you will not be able to protect your children in it. And this particularly goes for teachers in school and parents. You know, आजकल बहुत PTM शीटीएम होता है ना, महीने में कितनी बार? हाँ? Once a month? आपके बच्चे ने ये किया, आपके बच्चे ने ये किया, आपके बच्चे ने ये किया. What is this, यार? Collaborative. I went through 13 years of school. My parents only came on annual day. मैं ज्यादा खराब तो नहीं निकला, है ना? आप लोग के पेरेंट्स स्कूल जाते थे क्या? नहीं जाते थे. जरूर करो पेटीएम, बिकॉज पेटीएम नहीं पीटीएम. पेटीएम करो तो पीटीएम होगा ना. स्कूल का फीस दोगे तो पेटीएम करोगे तो पीटीएम होगा. सो बट प्लीज डू इट, but change that into a collaborative effort. I'll give you an example. At least 5 schools I have asked that on the day you do your PTM, please let us come and talk to your parents about sharenting. Not one school has replied. Not one. नहीं, वो तुम्हारा स्कूल 6 बार बोल चुका है सर करना है, छोड़ दो. मैं सरदार हूं, I talk very openly. Let our people come. कुनु स्कूल है. Let our people come and talk to you about sharenting. Let us at least start in Guwahati. Let our people talk to your parents on their interaction with their children. There's a communication gap out there. Huge. I can see the kids smiling away saying, "Koi to bola." Hey. You know, day before, my mother is my talk is always anecdotal. My mother is very technology savvy. She's 82, but she's on the net the whole day. She has her own Facebook account. Except the only difference, as I was telling someone, is that when she gets a message on WhatsApp, she replies with a very long message, and she says, "चिट्ठी आई थी, चिट्ठी का जवाब दे दिया." So I keep telling her message hai. She says, nahi, mere liye ye chitti hai. And they actually, her generation who uses the net, write long things to each other. जैसे पहले चिट्ठी में लिखते थे, they do that. She watches everything on YouTube. She searches, her TV is on YouTube. She has a smart TV. She searches and she watches. She has her own iPad. She has her own iPhone, whatever. She's in it. Even with being in it, 3 days ago I was talking to my son. And she said, "You let your son bully you." So I said, "No, I don't let my son bully me. We are equals. We communicate." I have learned. Sometimes my son turns around to me and I say, "Ye zara mujhe list bana ke bhej de." He says, "I know you know this. Search it for yourself." So I said, "Dude, I'll search it for myself when I retire. Right now, I don't have the time. Get some time, search it and send me. So you have to establish that openness with your this thing. 17. He also landed up in 2017 from Bombay saying मुझे पैसे भी नहीं चाहिए, मुझे काम दे दो. Social media पे काम करेंगे. And we were going through, we had just started because we went through that sad incident of Hopadhara, a duta lorak jitu Karbi Anglong mob lynching hole. Sabor monot ase na? So ene sharenting to monot rakhibu. Okay, it was a very sad incident. And that is where I started our social media campaign. Because when I had come in, I was talking on social media, but nobody was taking me seriously. But that is where it started. Because technology, you can't do without it. So, let me just say, what are the dangers? You know that there is a term which I learned while sort of putting down a few points for this keynote. It's called, have you ever heard of it? Problematic Internet Use, PIU. किसी ने सुना है? मैंने नहीं सुना था. So it's not PU. PU नाम भी होता है ना? But you can remember it as PU. Problematic Internet Usage. Excessive, compulsive or poorly regulated Internet use that would negatively impact a child's emotional, social, academic or behavioral functioning. Can I tell you another story? When I was Commissioner of Police Guwahati, my Joint Commissioner was Partho, he's right here. I got a call from an old friend in Mangaldoy who knew me when I was an Assistant Superintendent of Police that my son is in a very bad state of mind and please meet him. So I said, sure, send the boy. So he came and he was very agitated. Class 11 or class 12 child, very agitated. So I said, ki hol? He said, more bandhuk, Facebook ot amuk jane kiba kibi gali dise. So, tak arrest kori bolage. Child is talking about another child. So I said, what's the issue? So I'm trying to understand why is it troubling him so much? And that is when I realized, all older people here, you've seen bullying in school? Older people, yes or no? Huh? Somebody troubling you, somebody sort of misbehaving with you. But it remained in those four walls. Either you friends sorted it among yourself. If it got too much, it went to the parents. If it went beyond that, it went to the teachers. If it went beyond that, it went to the parents. किस्सा कहानी 15-20 लोगों के अंदर खत्म. আজি যদি ফেসবুকত গালি দিয়ে তো তার যিমান ফ্রেন্ডস আছে তো সব সো গাট বেসিকে লাগে. We don't understand that. So anyway, we helped him, we counseled the other kid, we made them meet, we had it deleted. The other guy issued an apology. Eneke kothata rest na koru. Counseling koribo lage. But this counseling is needed from you. So when we talk of cyber grooming, does anybody know what is cyber grooming? Grooming? When you sort of try to exploit a child for financial or sexual issues. But now it happens on the cyber world. You don't even know that somebody is in touch with your child. Daily we are getting cases where boys and girls are running away because they met, and these are children. The other day we found a girl and a boy in Dimapur. She went to UP, picked up the boy from there, they met on Instagram and she brought him to Dimapur. She was older, he was a kid. The other way around. The other way around, you misinterpreted your identity, you reach out to someone on Facebook or something, the boy does it, and then he makes a girl run away. You're not in communication, neither teachers nor parents, you're not in communication with your children. This happens. Okay. Now what happens with this excessive internet use? Loss of control, preoccupation with online activities, and inability to read, it becomes an addiction. So how do you help your kid actually divide time between that addiction and proper use of internet? So if you encourage learning on the net, if you encourage social activity on the net, you encourage knowledge about their hobbies on the net. Somebody plays football, have a quiz with the kid. Okay, find me what happened in the 72 World Cup. Find me, make me a little sort of, we'll chat about what happened, this thing. If they like films, if they like music, if you like music, the kid likes music, lyricist कौन था, music director कौन था, only Zubin दाए गान गाइसे भाल, पपन दाए गान गाइसे भाल, किंतु lyrics तो कोने लिखिले, music तो कोने compose करिले, cinematographer इटू scene और कोन आसिले, ए बिलाक नेटोत पाए, they'll be doing fun things apart from your school learning, but they'll be doing things which get them interested, not the other kind of addiction. And what is the real problematic internet usage is the challenges. So does anybody remember this game called Blue Whale? Right? It was actually all a hoax. The whole thing was a hoax. But it affected minds so much that kids were committing suicide. Right? But if you are not watching, I've seen, I hope young parents don't mind this, byan apabode. बच्चा कांधिया से टैब दी दिया होबो टैब दिया आई डोंट हैव अ प्रॉब्लम बिकॉज दैट्स द न्यू वर्ल्ड किंतु कार्टून लगाई दिया बच्चा खोजिबो नहीं दिया ही की खोजिबो फोन दिया किंतु तात की साबो एटू सुआ प्लीज सी व्हाट द चाइल्ड इज सीइंग ऑन दैट टैब प्लीज सी व्हाट द चाइल्ड इज एक्चुअली डूइंग ऑन दैट टैब नाउ इन 2022 there was a countrywide study which saw that PIU, problematic internet usage, had a 31.5% traumatic stress psychological effect on children of young ages. So we have to. That's why I said I normally don't speak very seriously. I try and engage the audience. But today I'm trying to engage you on a very serious thing. Think about this. Amar hall to horu manu dukhomane humaise. Kinu more request ase. Please go out and spread this word. Talk about it in your schools. Talk about it in your WhatsApp groups. Salik and Miguel, can we make a small ready reckoner? You've already made one. We share the PDF, which then in their family groups, in their groups, the PDF flies. Because viral to iman 2 minute lage na hoy viral ho bole. So if you put it in your class group, your school group, your college group, your family group, Tauji group, Khura group, sabot pathale hoy jay. Mar family, Deotar family, sabor beleg beleg group ase. Itut pathao. Tetia he ami eta jagrukta anibo parim. Ami aji gut khaisu e jagrukta ani bole. Jagrukta na anile amar next generation or hani hobo, khati hobo. Jadi ami itu stop koribo noaru. Then we are in trouble. If we are not able to actually engage. And the next is, for all people, I put myself in the older generation. Of course, this is also a line I keep using. I keep telling myself, yaar, main to buddha ho gaya. They say, nahi, sir, kahan? मतलब वो क्या वैलिडेशन आजकल लाइक्स में होता है मैं ऐसे ही वर्बली ले लेता हूँ बट हाँ आई एम इन दी ओल्डर जनरेशन सो the younger generation who are above the children, who are young parents, and my generation and the generation above this, please understand the internet. Don't run away from it. Don't think of it only as a WhatsApp message and an email for your official communication. Actually understand what's happening in that world. One more point that I'd like to just touch, because I think I've overstepped my time. No, I haven't. They can't say I've overstepped my time. I'm the boss. Radicalization. religious and otherwise. We've had a lot of kids get taken in by the romance of religious radicalization and militant groups on social media. Thankfully, we've been able to stem it now. We brought back a lot of kids. We monitor, but if you monitor, and by monitor I don't mean intrude in the kids' privacy. You will monitor if you have a communication channel with them. They will immediately themselves share things. So sharing is caring. किसी को याद है? जब हम लोग छोटे थे पोस्टर आते थे छोटे छोटे saying sharing is caring. So वो sharing is caring वाला जो है ना, you have to get into that vis-a-vis the internet. There's again something new I learned. Incel subculture. किसी ने सुना है? सुना है ना? स्कूल में जाके घर में जाके बच्चों से पूछो, सबने सुना है. It is a toxic subculture which is affecting pre-teen boys across the world. And there's a celebrity called Andrew Tate. If your kid is following Andrew Tate on Insta particularly, please wake up to this. Who they follow, you'll be surprised. Ye chodo. Every few days I go through my wife's Twitter and remove people. She said this was interesting. I said it's not interesting, yeah. This guy's a bloody subversive. Hatao isko. Because she was following some guys who every day were writing on Twitter कि China के साथ war होने वाली है. My wife's a writer, so her imagery goes very far. So if I can do it with my wife, you can at least talk to your children, yeah. So there's so much nonsense out there. So part of what you're doing, यार होटल ये AC कुछ मर गया है यार तुम्हारा. AC को क्या हुआ यार? हाँ? I should cut it from the bill, na? So AC ठीक करो यार. Can someone talk to the GM, please? These subcultures on the net, you'll only get to know if you're in touch with the children. And this is school. So now let me come back to that word future. And there were two big words in that. Laughter and future. You remember those words? So, Salik, can we go back to that? The song. Future. A future of dhoriply ami amar kids of present to mariasu. So instead of making their laughter remind us of ours, we are putting pressure on them. That pressure, a future bya ho jabo, a bad diya. Once you join engineering and college, you can do this. Once you become something, you do what you want to. Right now, you only study. That is where you are taking away their laughter. And because you're taking away their laughter, they earlier, what could they do? Go from the house. Besi hole, late ahibo. दोस्त के साथ अड्डा मार लेगा. कोई बच्चा उस जमाने में सिगरेट पी लेगा. यही था ना हमारे टाइम में, और तो नहीं था. Today, with the pressure where they are going on the internet, you don't know. So, communication and space, you have to give the children space. Unless and until you give the children space to do what they do in their spare time. Timetable bana do. Padhai is very important. Timetable bana do. But give them space. And another request for all schools in this thing, please encourage physical activity. Otherwise, your children will be introverts. They will interact beautifully on the net, but they will become introverts. So, I'm just trying to kindle, वो सालिक ने कुछ revolutionary poem कही थी कि आग तुम्हारे दिल में भी लगनी चाहिए टाइप्स, तो वो आग को थोड़ा, what I'm trying to do is कि this idea must float. Communication. Sometimes, yes, a child feels uncomfortable communicating directly with a parent or a teacher. Find an intermediary, an elder brother, an elder cousin, kind of younger teacher. You know, you have to have a communication channel open. Now comes the last part where we come in. Consult. We are there. Report if it's going beyond a point. There are doctors amongst you, there are doctors everywhere, there are people who will help. In fact, UNICEF, we should maybe think of this as our next program. The Chief Minister has announced in the current budget that Assam Police will set up an AI laboratory to detect deep fakes. So naturally, once that kind of laboratory comes up, we would be able to help you with this kind of thing also. We have a pretty solid cyber monitoring cell. So start talking. Simple. My throat is kind of parched. And if all of you are bored, there is running coffee outside, which I'm going to have a cup of. All of you don't go away, yaar, hall khali ho jayega. But some of you can. So, I come back to the most serious thing that I've had to say. Let's come together. Bhupen Hazarika ne kya bola tha? We are in the same boat, brother. So, we are in the same boat, brothers and sisters. And to pull the boat, we have to go together for the laughter and future of the next generation. And the next, we have to work together. Don't shy away from the internet. Don't reject it because you don't understand it. Let's together understand it. We'll help with those campaigns. And let's get this going. And Salik, did anybody talk of what Infantia means? You did. She did. Did anybody hear it? You did. So infant से ये सब लैटिन है, मेरे को तो संस्कृत समझ आती है, लैटिन नहीं आती है. So on that note, thank you very much. But do I get Ami korim na nai? Nai. Ratipua ekko khwaye nai ami. Are we going to do this? Yes. Do I get a pledge? Yes. Salik, there's another pledge. Show it to me. So, in your folders, there is a digital parenting pledge. So please go home and get this done in your home and actually take it seriously and get this done in your schools. On that note, let me hear it once again, that we are going to work for the future of our children. Yes? Yes. There won't be any lunch here if I don't get a yes. Is there going to be a future for our children? Yes. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Ayokam.